This is Mr. Keverly. The point of this video is to show students how to accurately access and understand how to use Student Connect. It's come to our attention from both parents and students that some of us are still a little bit foggy on how exactly do I use it, how do I get there, and what information can be found in it. It's also important to know that we are 2 weeks out from final report cards, so we want to make sure that in this 2-week period, you have every opportunity, once again, one last time, to make sure, do I have missing assignments? What was my grade? How did I do on this test? Etc. And then make sure you have that opportunity to have much needed dialogue with your teachers if you think there's a mistake, or if you think there's something that was an error, or excuse me, or if you think you have a missing assignment that shouldn't be showing up. So the first place you want to go to is students, and you notice the pull down tag that says student connection. Once I click on that, I'll see a login box. You'll need to know your ID and your password. Your ID is your student ID number. This is on your schedule. This should be on your student IDs you received at photos last week. And this should be on any other important piece of documentation that LPS has given you regarding your student account. Your password is a word that goes here. All right. This is the same word you use when you want to log on to Livonia's network. I believe it's also the same word you want to use to get onto Amplify and iReady as well. So those are two similar pieces of information you guys should know. Once I successfully log in here, again, I'll point out I'd use my son's, but then you can see his information, and that's probably not going to be a good idea for my son. But once you correctly log on, you should see an interface that looks like this. If you look to the left over here, you'll see the assignments tab is highlighted, and you can see that it went from a plus sign to a negative. Look right here. All these tabs right here are information on you, and if you hit the plus sign, that little plus sign will turn to a negative, and then on the right, it will expand a box that shows you your assignments. If you look, I can scroll up and down through my son's schedule. All right, Mr. Rathburn, Miss Woods, Mr. Morelli, etc. And what you'll notice is that on the left, you'll see the date, assigned, date due. You'll see the assignment. You'll see the points possible. And the most important part is information here on how things are scored and comments. Now, you'll notice my son had a few gaffes here in the beginning of the year. When he was on remote, he was turning things into the wrong place, so he got some late submissions. You'll see teachers commenting over here about, hey, had to resubmit it twice. There's an error, resubmitted, good job. Teacher note that that's his novel he's reading. And a lot of times teachers will put things here that might help you as a parent or, again, as a student understand, well, why did I get that grade, or why did this get marked down, etc. Also in here, if you don't have work and it doesn't show up for my son, good for him because he'd be grounded, you'll see things like instead of incomplete or incorrect, it might say missing. And that is a code that all teachers are using to let parents and students know the reason that's a 0, the reason that was marked down, the reason there is no grade, the assignment is missing, and either I didn't get it, or you turned it in incorrectly, or it was turned into the wrong spot, or you didn't do it. So that's a good way to check on grades. We know that many of you are getting confused right now with, well, it's showing up in Google Classroom as missing, and we don't understand that. Guys, we apologize. We know Google Classroom is what we're using to deliver instruction, but this is where your grades are. This is where record keeping happens. This is what will go out in the report card on Friday, November 6th at the end of the first card marking. Parents, again, we apologize if this causes confusion. It's not intentional, but this is the program that we use through Wayne Risa, through Livonia Public Schools, that is our primary record-keeping source that sends our grades to the district to be printed, okay? And we do cover this daily with the students. Several of us have done tutorials. I know that I can speak for myself. We do several walkthroughs with this in class to show kids. And many of us are taking weekly opportunities to say, hey, this assignment's missing, or our grade books are closing, or these things are coming up. Please check in, all right? So again, student connection, assignments, and this is the best place to check. If you, once again, cannot find, excuse me, your student ID and you don't know it, it is available through the Parent Connect. Parents, if you are having a hard time with the Parent Connect, your students can go to their counselors or the front office they have this information in terms of the login, the ID, and all the password information you need. So again, I hope this helps. In closing, students, we have 2 weeks before the card marking. At that point, all these grades you see here become official. And then we generate a report card. All these grades will get cleared out, and you'll start at base 0 again, starting November 9th with the second card marking. Again, if you're not sure, if you've got missing work, talk to your teachers, talk to your counselor, and we want to make sure that in these 2 weeks you take the most intentional effort to get these grades checked because time is running out. Thank you very much. And again, if you have other questions, talk to your teachers.